I know when I was a kid, I always felt like back to school was like vacation just started. So I'm sure that the parents are happy, but I'm sure that like the kids are like, nah. So what I'm going to be doing for you guys this week is to give you guys 5 consecutive days of back-to-back, really easy but healthy back-to-school recipes that you and your kids can make together. It's also not limited to younger kids because these are great foods and lunches for adults or people going back to college as well. So the first recipe that I will be doing with you guys today is a tofu and kale dumpling. And these are super easy because you can buy the ready-made dumplings already at the grocery store. The great thing about this recipe is before you're about to cook them, you can actually make a ton of dumplings, freeze them ahead of time, and then make it for lunch, make it for dinner, whenever you want. So it's super easy. It's gonna be loaded with vegetables and kale, and then it's going to have your protein from your tofu as well. So really a great recipe, and I'm sure that you guys and your kids will really love it.
So I am going to start off with half a box of tofu that will make 24 dumplings because I do not have a lot of freezer space, but if you do, feel free to use more. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a weight on this tofu to get rid of some of that moisture first. So I'll put that there for about an hour before I use a fork and just mash all of that up. So, for those of you guys not used to vegan cooking, this mashed up tofu is essentially just ground meat. It's gonna function very much like that. We're gonna put in some typical kind of dumpling flavor ingredients. So I have some ginger, some garlic, some onion powder. I'm gonna put in some soy sauce, some rice vinegar. Recipe is going to be down below. And then finishing that off with just a little bit of sesame oil for flavor. And the tofu is just going to absorb all of that up, and then afterwards we're gonna mix in that kale. So what I have is 2 cups of kale that I have cooked down, chopped really finely, and then squeezed all of the water out of because you do want it to be dry. And it became kind of like 1 cup of kale. And you do want to taste this mixture as you go. Like if you want it to be a little bit saltier, feel free to add a little salt or a little soy sauce. And then I have 12 dumpling wrappers that I'm just going to put water around. And if you guys are just making this with your kids, or if you just want a quick dumpling to make, just fold it into a half moon shape and then call it a day. I mean, the dumpling is just as good at that point. Now, for my overachievers, you want to give 1 good pinch in the center so that it's sealed at that point. And then to the left and the right of that center, you want to fold about 3 to 4 pleats and aim it, kind of diagonally towards the center. And you're going to end up with something like this. It is at this point, boys and girls, that you can stick these guys into the freezer, and then when you want to use them, just steam them right away. You don't even need to thaw it. But I thought that most people do like their dumplings pan fried, so I have about a teaspoon or so of flaxseed oil, whatever oil that you want to use in there. And I'm just going to pan fry the dumplings for about 2 minutes on medium-high heat until the bottoms get slightly crispy and have some structure to it. Next, about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water go in, and we're cooking it for another 2 minutes or so until the skins get transparent. And that way you'll know that they're cooked. I'm gonna take off the lid after that point and then cook it for another 2 minutes or so until the bottom skins get crispy again. Yeah, and that's about it. If you're preparing it for school, make sure to do it with a side salad because the more vegetables that you can eat, the better. I'm gonna have the dipping sauce recipe down on the bottom. It's just some soy sauce, some vinegar, some sugar, some garlic powder. Very easy to put together. These dumplings are awesome and they're so clean tasting as well. And that's really it for me, guys, today. Be sure to stay tuned because the next 4 days are going to be full of really easy, delicious, simple, but super, super yummy recipes to go. As usual, if you want to see more recipes like this, remember to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye!